Here is how we turned about a half acre of our yard into a native wildflower fieldscape. It used to look like this. Lots of grass that we had to mow. But with wildflowers, you don't have to mow every week. They're a lot nicer to look at, and more importantly, they're a lot more beneficial than grass. Native wildflowers do things that grass can't do, like increase biodiversity, sequester carbon, improve overall soil health, and attract pollinators and other beneficial insects to nearby crops. We began in the fall of 2024 by tilling the ground and removing the grass. We tilled at least twice. Some places required multiple passes to clear the ground. Then we sectioned off pathways and different growing areas. We put no-mow clover on the pathways and native wildflower seed mixes in different sections. Our hope was to be able to walk through the wildflower meadows on narrow paths. Once the seed was down, we put straw down on top of everything. We added at least 20 bales of straw on top, which the chickens were more than willing to help spread. Once the straw was down, we had to wait. Winter was brutal on the farm. Multiple snowstorms, with one leaving more than a foot of snow on top of the new seeds. The frigid temperatures helped the cold stratification of the seeds, which is the natural freeze-thaw process that breaks down the seeds and allows them to better germinate for spring flowering. Then came the winds of spring and spring thunderstorms. And at last, the first wildflowers. The first to emerge were beautiful red poppies, then milkweed, butterfly weed, cornflower, cosmos, coreopsis, prairie blazing star, black-eyed Susans, and purple coneflowers. We have about 30 different native plants in this area, which improves biodiversity and creates more habitat for wildlife. As a market farm with specialty crops in close proximity to the native fieldscape, we get the additional benefit of all those pollinators working on our flowering crops like tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers and zucchini. The pathways we planted are still mostly walkable. Strolling through the wildflowers shows off the variety of not only flowers but also birds and pollinators. After the flowers bloomed, we also saw the return of honeybees. We lost both our hives over the winter, but in spring we saw that new bees had made a home in one of our empty boxes. In all, we planted about 8.5 pounds of seed, including a Midwest native wildflower blend, a Monarch highway mix, and the no-mow flowering lawn blend. These blends contain annuals, biannuals, and perennials. An added benefit to these seed mixes is the assortment of flowers changing with the seasons. As one kind of flower begins to die off, others are just starting to bloom. At the end of the season, we'll mow the flowers to bring the wildflower meadow back to life again next year.